Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus, and welcome to another live stream Tuesday. Thank you everyone for joining in so early in the chat room today, and it was about 11:15 that I saw some of you guys in there, so thank you for that. I hope you guys had a great Monday, if that's even possible, and we have at least made it to Tuesday. So thank you for joining me, everybody. Let me get you guys up on screen immediately to see who is in the house. And we have Karen in there, and Linda Z, and Laurie, and Hippie, and Ginger Duran, and Billy, and Neil moderating in there as well. And YouTube is saying capture moments as they happen, and I didn't even click close there, so it just threw that into the live chat room, so thank you YouTube for that. But hello Kevin and Corey and Danny and Valerie and Mary and Jennifer again, and Kevin in there, Tim, Lisa. Hello guys, thank you for joining me in this live stream. And also let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because these guys make this possible, as well as every other video that I do on YouTube possible as well, with the analysis videos, but absolutely everything. You guys know who you are, but they are my patrons over at Wings of Pegasus, and that's patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus if you want to head to the actual site yourselves. But thank you guys so much for your support, for making this possible, but also for popping up in the super chat window as well. And we are going to be jumping into the super chat window soon, but I'm going to get everything on screen so that we know what we're aiming for with the likes and everything like that. So first of all, I need to try and get the live likes up on screen. It looks like we are at 89, and it always goes a bit wonky at the beginning of the live stream. I don't know why that is, but we are at 90 likes now, just gone over to 91. So thank you for hitting that thumbs up and for spiking the likes so early on before we even went live. And I think tonight we're going to be aiming for, if my memory serves me correctly, 310, something like that. Let me see if I can find the right button. There we go. It is 310. That is tonight's likes goal, just for the live stream. In order to get the pick lottery and the pick roulette going on, it's going to be 320, I think, which should be that one. And there we have it. So yes, 320 likes is what we're aiming for in order to have a pick roulette next Tuesday. Now, unfortunately, we didn't hit the target last week, so there's no pick roulette tonight, no lucky winners, but we've had a few lucky winners previously. So we'll also be looking at a little picture or two later on. That'll be after the cover video, and that's going to be the little section, but no pick roulette tonight. But there will be one on Saturday. And just to mention about Saturday's pick roulette, when the replay of YouTube, well, when the replay of the live stream was available on YouTube, the names and the comments weren't being shown for some reason. I don't know why YouTube hid the comments. Usually they are there. So Carla has done her best to go through all of the names and see everyone who has typed I agree for Saturday's roulette. But just to let you guys know that if you wanted to be part of that roulette on Saturday, we're going to be doing another one that will be during that live stream. So we'll have a couple of pick roulettes, and you guys can type to make sure that you're going to be entered into that one. Or it might be the next week. I'm not sure. Carla and I will sort it out whether we're going to do two on the same night and everyone can just jump in for that roulette on that night. It might be cool just to do that, to have a couple, and then everyone who's there can be entered into it that time, and we'll have a live pick roulette to see somebody winning just as part of that live stream, to make up for the fact that YouTube hid all the names and the comments from that previous Saturday's live stream. But that could be a cool thing to do. We'll probably go along those lines on Saturday, so make sure you tune in for that. Right, let me get the super chat window up on screen, because we have had some action in there. Thank you guys so much for this, and I'm going to have to scroll up just to make sure I don't miss anybody. And Orlando has donated $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. He's always at the top there pretty much. At 1:27 a.m. this morning, Orlando donated $2 and said, do not forget to spike those likes with a thumbs up. So thank you for that, Orlando. Let's have a plug of the mug as well. We've got the Tuesday, or the live stream Tuesday mug, out specifically for tonight's live stream with some orange juice in there. Well, it's not actually orange juice, it's orange squash, as we all know. But you can get your hands on one of these mugs in the tray underneath this video, as well as all of the merchandise over at teespring.com. Type in Wings of Pegasus and you will find it, including a t-shirt like this, which I am wearing and trying to model tonight, and I'll leave it open a little bit so people can see I'm actually wearing a Wings of Pegasus shirt. But thank you, Orlando, for that, and a great idea to spike those likes. We can have an early spike of the likes, 122. We've just clocked over. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, it would be massively appreciated if you could do that to help the channel to grow, but also for these live streams to get out there as well. Moving on, we have Vince, who has donated $5 as well, and this was at 5:34 a.m. so this morning again, and Vince has posted first with some rock horns and a smiley face. So it was close, but Orlando beat you to it, Vince, unfortunately. So first isn't quite accurate enough, but second is almost as good. But thank you for that, Vince. And Marilyn has donated $5. Thank you for that. The message is, hi Phil and everyone, can't be here, but I spiked the likes earlier and will be part of the catch-up crew. Have fun with a heart. So thank you for that, Marilyn. And Marilyn will be joining everybody else in the catch-up crew. You can still hit that thumbs up if you watch this later on. They all count towards that like total for the live streams. And we will have to wait and see if we're going to be looking at the catch-up crew to reach the goal for tonight's likes. 132 so far, so we are getting up there a little bit more one by one as everybody comes in through the door. If you could leave a like, that'll be great, and it'll really help us to reach maybe the target of 310, but also maybe 320. I know that on a Tuesday it's going to be more difficult for people to watch, so we have more people in the catch-up crew on Tuesdays, but we will see where we end up. So Patrick has donated $5 as well. Thank you for this, Patrick. The message is, hi Phil, heartbroken today as one of my musical heroes and influences, Tony Lewis, former lead singer of The Outfield, passed today. Very sad. So thank you for that message, Patrick. And also, it's been a very sad time of the year. It's just been a crazy year in 2020 so far, not only musically, but just in the world as a whole. And more sad news there that Tony Lewis has passed away. But thank you, Patrick, for that donation. And Sue has donated $20. Thank you for this, Sue. The message is, just checking in, as I might have to miss part of the show. Have a great night, everyone. So thank you for that, Sue, and everyone say hello to Sue for wishing everybody a great night in that live chat room. Now, just before I move on to Orlando's donation again, just so you guys know, over on Patreon, I request people's requests for the live streams, and a cartoon was requested. So I haven't got, I think there's two that I haven't yet converted or got from my old computer and managed to upload it to this computer and then get it on the software. Anyway, it's quite a long process. But I do have 3 cartoons previously that, if you guys want to just write in the live chat room which cartoon you want to watch, then maybe we can play one tonight. I know that the time just disappears with these live streams, but we will see if we can sneak one in there with the cartoons. I think it's going to be a case of letting me know which one to play. There's the one about the audition, there's the other one about Guff Fest, and there's the other one, what's the third one about? I can't remember what the third one is about. Oh, it's playing in the pub that looks like a library. So let me know which one of those you want to see, and I'll try and load that on the show before the end of the live stream. We can just watch a cartoon and maybe have a little bit of a laugh, because I think that's what we all need at the moment. But getting back into the Super Chat window, Orlando has donated $5 again. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, rest in peace, Tony Lewis. His loss is shocking and devastating. I am at a loss, with a sad face. So thank you for that, Orlando. And yes, it's something that will affect a lot of people, and if people were influenced by The Outfield just as a band as well, I know that Patrick and especially Orlando are just putting the attention on that. So it's one of those things, very sad news again. We've had a lot of musicians recently that have sadly passed away, and a few of which I have done videos on the channel. So thank you guys for all of the requests that I did have for those previous videos on these very sad news, and Van Halen, of course, Eddie being that huge loss as well. But thank you, Orlando, for that donation. And Orlando has donated $2 again straight after that donation, and it says, happy to make it tonight. Hello, everyone. So thank you for that, Orlando. Orlando says hello to everyone in that live chat room, and I hope all you guys are doing really well in there. Massive shout out to my moderators in there. We have Neil and Carla and Laurie in the house doing some moderating, making sure that everything's above board in the live chat room. They do such a great job, and thank you guys for doing that. It is much appreciated on all of the live streams. They do such a great job, so a massive shout out to the moderators. And moving down, we can see that Michael has donated $5 as well and now disappeared. But thank you for that, Michael. And the message is, how much does enough equipment to cut a quality YouTube video cost? And that is an interesting question, because I'll have to do some maths in my head. For my videos, I'm not sure whether you'd consider them a quality YouTube video or not. I think with my analysis videos, it's going to be relatively cheap. The software that I use, which I also use to do these live streams, is probably about $30 a month. So you've got that as a monthly cost. The other software that I use, I'm just thinking about the interface and all that kind of stuff, maybe $300 for an interface, and probably the same for a half decent condenser mic, so you're up to maybe $600. And if you're talking about doing the editing on Final Cut Pro 10, that's probably about, I don't know, $100, maybe something like that. It's relatively cheap. And then the computer, now this is, if you're literally starting from scratch and you're buying the Mac that I've got, then new, that was about $2,500, something like that, $2,500, which is a lot of money. And that's one of those things that you do have to save up for and just bite the bullet and make sure that you can have a decent computer, I think, for then lots of years in the future, because this is a 2013 Mac Pro, so it means that it's lasted now 7 years, which is going pretty well, and it's still running everything fine. So if you're looking at that, where are we up to now? About $3,000. But the thing is, you're not going to have to buy this computer every year. It's just one of those things that you just save up for, and then it'll see you through maybe 7 to 10 years. But also, I'm trying to think of what else you'll need. If you're doing music videos, then you need the amp and the guitar, and then you're talking about maybe $300 or $400 for an amp. That was my Line 6 amp that I got, the Spider 3 HD 150. That was about $350 when I got that. And my guitar, that was probably only about $300, maybe $250. So the guitar was relatively cheap. That was my Ibanez Geo, but I do have more expensive guitars than that. So a rough estimate, if you've already got the computer and stuff, the analysis videos, it's going to be like 30 quid a month, and then just buy yourself a camera that you can put on top of your screen like I've got here, and that costs maybe $100, so it's going to be relatively cheap. I think it's all about putting the work into the videos. It isn't so much spending a lot of money on fancy equipment. If you put a lot of work in, then it doesn't really matter. I think if the video is just HD and not 4K or 8K and all that kind of stuff, it's just making the videos as interesting as possible. But yeah, when you start looking at doing cover videos and different angles and all that kind of stuff, and getting microphones, guitars, amps, video editing software, but also you can buy different filters for your camera, lenses. My camera cost about $350 that I use to record the cover videos, so that's another expense that you can throw in there. So yeah, whatever that was, and it's a very long answer to that question, but thank you, Michael, for that. I think the most important thing is to accept that you have to save up when you're doing your day job, just save up your money, because once you've got the equipment, then the world is your oyster and you can just get out there and start producing as many videos as possible. It's just one of those things that you have to make enough money to buy the things in the first place, but once that's done, then it's downhill from there. But thank you so much for that, Michael. Carl has donated $5. Thank you for this, Carl. The message is: the usual, or pizza or Chinese. Rest in peace, Spencer Davis, as well. Thank you for that, Carl. And thank you, Carla, as well, who has jumped in there with a donation of $1.99. Thank you for this, Carla. The message is: 1 next Saturday and 2 for the following Saturday. So that is going to be for the pick roulette that I mentioned. So we're going to have 1 on Saturday and then 2 the following week. So thank you for that clarification, Carla, and all of the work going through all of the names, getting them for this Saturday. And Carla has donated again $1.99. The message is: I can't feel a wheel during the live stream. Okay, so thank you for that as well. So I was just going to make Carla's life very stressful, because it would be impossible to get all of the names and enter them in the space of a live stream. So thank you for that clarification for that second part, Carla. And King Nero has donated $10. Thank you for this, King Nero. The message is: loved your Mark Knopfler analysis, Phil. Hopefully you do more of a talent such as his. Check out Dire Straits live at Wembley from 1985. The camera shows his guitar work close up. So thank you for that, King Nero, and the donation as well. And you guys, if you want to check out that Mark Knopfler video, then you'll be able to find it here. It was the last analysis video, and it is titled as Dire Straits on that. Even though technically, as a couple of people have pointed out, it was 1996, and Dire Straits did go their separate ways in 1995. So technically it was just a Mark Knopfler performance, but I think a lot of people just see Mark as Dire Straits when you mention the band name. But anyway, just a technicality there. But thank you for that. And Danny Joe Hammonds has donated $5. Thank you for that, Danny. The message is: hey Phil, what is your favorite full album production wise? My toe favorites are Bat Out of and Sergeant Pepper's. Okay, Bat Out of Hell and Sgt. Pepper's. So thank you for that, Danny. It just took me a little while to read all of that, but thank you for that. I think full album production-wise, this is so... I mean, it's such a wide net that I would cast over just albums that I really like from a production perspective. And just... I can go into so many... But I'm going to kind of throw out there Listen Without Prejudice by George Michael. And George Michael, I know you guys are probably thinking I'm going to say, and I will say Def Leppard, maybe just as a general production, because Def Leppard, I know that the stories of them when they're recording, literally recording one string at a time of chords and then piecing that all together, but the sound that they got in the studio was so unique and so different, and still is. When you hear any Def Leppard album, you can just tell it apart from everything else because of the production. So if I'm talking about my personal preference and my own hard rock tendencies, then I would say Def Leppard as just standing out from a production perspective. And I would probably have to go for, I mean, you've got the classic hard rock production of Whitesnake as well, which you have the drums a lot more prominent in the mix, and that is something that when you do listen to that, you'll hear that prominent hi-hat cutting through in Whitesnake's albums, just the self-titled Whitesnake album for example, but you'll be able to hear that drum sound really up front, especially with David Coverdale's vocal as well. But I don't want to get into I could be talking for hours about different albums and production, but just going back to Boston as well, just throw them in there as a band from a production perspective and having such quality in the whole production sound. But thank you so much for that, Danny. And I mean, Bat Out of Hell and Sgt. Pepper's as well, just a couple to throw in there. Danny, quite rightly there, two fantastic albums from a production perspective. And you can say that The Beatles, something that I do mention in previous analysis videos about them pushing the boundaries not only from live performance, songwriting, but the production on their albums and just doing things in the studio that hadn't been done before. But you can check out my videos on the Beatles for more information on all of that. But thank you, Danny. Again, I could talk for a very long time about that. Empress Mermaid has donated $2.19. Thank you for that. The message is rock. And I'm just going to scroll down to make sure that I don't miss any here. Paul has donated $5. Thank you for this, Paul. The message is, good evening, everyone. Let's spike those likes. Great idea. We're up to 167 already. So we're looking for a spike of the likes at 20 minutes past midnight here in the UK. We are closing in. We are now over halfway to 310. And are we over halfway to 320? I think we are, if my maths is correct. So thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up. We've still got a ways to go, but we are well on the way. So let's have a look at this super chat window again, because I have had one in from Fred as well. Thank you for that, Fred. And this is a $5 donation. I just want to make sure that I don't miss anybody here. And thank you for this, Fred. The message is, how does Orlando pay his rent? With a smiley face. Okay, he's a friend. So thank you for that, Fred. And Joe has donated $14.99. Thank you for that, Joe. And that is a straight up donation without any message with it. Mary has donated $5. Thank you for this, Mary. And the message is, hi Phil, are you self-taught in video creation and editing? So thank you for that and the question. And I think so, if you call watching YouTube videos as self-taught, I think now you can pretty much teach yourself anything, and that's exactly how I've pretty much done everything apart from guitar playing, because that was something that I started playing well before YouTube. So my whole learning process for that pretty much up until my early 20s was just working it all out for myself. But with video editing and lighting, for example, and green screens and doing the whole chroma key thing, that is all stuff that I've learned from videos on YouTube, and the lighting as well, and Final Cut Pro 10, all of these things, the plugins that you can buy as well that can give your videos a slightly different look, that is all just YouTube videos. So to answer that, yes. The video creation and editing, I just watch lots of videos about, aperture and the whole world of video editing, video taking photos as well. It's such a rabbit hole that once you get into that, you can spend as long as you want in there, because there are people that just do videos and are experts at that. So when you just dip your toe in that pool, it is going to be a pool that is very deep and vast. So I've just dipped my toe in it, but not really looked into it too much, just enough to get my videos off the ground and looking okay for viewing. But thank you for that, Mary. And Sherry has donated $4.99. Thank you for that, Sherry. And that's a straight up donation without a message. And Lucy has donated $19.99. Thank you for that, Lucy. The message is, howdy Phil, fellow wingers and new wingers. Today would have been Tom Petty's 70th birthday. Is also the 43rd anniversary of the plane crash that took the lives of Lynyrd Skynyrd Band. May they rest in peace. So thank you for that, Lucy. And sadly, yes, another rest in peace. And what a band they were, just taken in their prime with that tragedy. But also Tom Petty's 70th birthday, it would have been today. And that is kind of going to be the theme for tonight's cover video, because we will be having a listen to my cover of Free Fallin'. So thank you guys for requesting that over on Patreon. I think that was Kevin that got the ball rolling over there. So we'll be listening to that later. But thank you, Lucy, for that donation. Cindy has donated $5 as well. Thank you so much for that, Cindy. And that's a straight up donation without a message. Vince has donated $10. Thank you for that, Vince. And the message is, Phil, from the live chat, Cindy Powers, who just donated, says, hello everyone, with some rock horns. Hi Phil, how did you come about the name Wings of Pegasus, and does it have a special meaning to you? So thank you for the question. And it was just a made up name. I think probably there was some subconscious reference to Winger, the band that I am a big fan of and listen to a lot of and have seen multiple times live, and also Kip Winger with his one-man show. I've seen him in London a few times as well, just with his 12-string. So I think that's probably in there somewhere, and that's maybe how the Wings part came about, but the Pegasus was just something that struck me as sounding a bit 80s and a bit hard rock, because that's the music that I like to write and perform. So that's how I came up with that. And it was also with my second guitarist at the time. We were just it's not troubleshooting, but brainstorming, I guess, band names, and that's just something that we came up with. And like I said, it's probably got a little bit of a Winger reference in there. But thank you for that, Vince, and also Cindy. And Joe has donated $9.99 as well. Thank you for this, Joe. The message is Stevie Ray Vaughan the greatest guitarist of all time? So thank you for that, Joe. And this is always something that is impossible to say that anyone was the greatest or is the best, because there are so many different ways of playing the guitar. You've got, just an example, acoustic. You can play fingerstyle on the acoustic with the right hand. You can also tap onto the acoustic guitar. You can play it percussively by striking the acoustic guitar. You can then have electric guitar. You can have different styles. You can have jazz. You can have blues. You can have rock. You can have funk. There are so many different styles. And there are so many guitar players who excel in so many different styles and so many different techniques. So just saying that somebody was the best or the greatest is impossible to say that, because there are things that other guitarists do that Stevie Ray Vaughan couldn't do, and vice versa. And Stevie, certainly from a blues perspective and rock, he's one of those guitarists that has such expression. You can then start to give your table of guitarists different headings. And if you're saying about the most expressive guitarist of all time, you can certainly start to make an argument for getting certain guitarists together who are the most expressive, other guitarists who were the fastest. Like I said, so many ways that you can break it down. But he's certainly one of my favorite guitarists of all time, and that's obviously down to everybody with their own personal preference. It's subjective, but I was and still am a Jimi Hendrix fan, a huge fan of his when I was learning to play, just listening to my dad's records. So I know that Stevie was a huge fan of Jimi Hendrix as well. So there's something about Stevie's playing that appeals to me because of that influence that he had from Jimi Hendrix. But obviously it's all subjective, but that is somebody as a player that I'd say, for my personal taste, is right up there. But thank you, Joe, for that donation and the question. Susan and Dennis are in their house and have donated $10. Thank you so much for this, guys. And the message is sending well wishes for Beverly Cassidy, fine art as she is in the hospital with diverticulitis, and yet still tuned in for tonight's live stream, and also recruits new wingers from the hospital staff. So thank you guys for that message, and definitely a shout out to Beverly, who is in hospital at the moment, and I hope that everything goes well with that. And diverticulitis, I'm not sure whether I'm saying that correctly, but I hope that is okay. I think that's something to do with the stomach or the intestines, but I hope that that's all sorted out. And I hope that you can maybe tune in for maybe a few minutes. Obviously, there are probably a lot more important things going on with you at hospital, but I hope that all works itself out and that you can watch this on Catch Up as well, be part of that Catch Up crew. But also, thank you for trying to recruit people and hospital staff as well. It is much appreciated. So, thank you for that, guys, for that message and sending that on from Beverly. Orlando has donated $10 again. Thank you for this, Orlando. The message is there a big difference between stage vocalists, Broadway, New York City and London's West End, and career vocalists like Celine Dion and Andrea Bocelli? So, it depends. The thing is, with the advancement in technology, that going way back when to classical singers, the way that Andrea Bocelli would have learned to sing is projecting their voice over an audience where the technology didn't exist yet. And this is the same for the musical theatre, when they were putting on any kind of show, the audience would have to hear the singing from the back row as well as the front row, and they'd have to hear it throughout the performance over the orchestra as well. So it was something that classical singers had to train to project their voice to hit the back of the room. Obviously, when microphones then got invented, it was now less of an issue. And for musical theatre and opera, which is a lot more relevant and specific to classical singing, that style was very much that resonance to fill the whole venue. But now it's not as important because they can have microphones and just tweak the volume through the PA system if they want to. But when we're talking about musical theatre, it's something that a lot of singers with great technique and classical singing technique do get into musical theatre and have that ability to do that, even though they would rely more on the microphones and not so much the opera sound. Musical theatre is kind of that middle ground between what you'd find in popular culture and classical singing and opera. It kind of falls halfway in between, where you'll notice also in musical theatre, the vibrato as a technique is slightly more subtle and not as exaggerated as it is in opera. So it's something that you'll find that when you start moving away from opera, that it starts to become a little bit more contemporary with the vocal stylizations that come into musical theatre. But I think that's maybe answered the question. Let me just read it again, just to make sure I've answered it. Is there a big difference between stage vocalists, Broadway, New York City, and London's West End, and career vocalists like Celine Dion and Andrea Bocelli? So having the career vocalist, say for example, someone like Celine Dion, she would be doing tours and traveling all over the place. And you do have theatre productions that do tour, but they tend to stay in the West End or on Broadway. So it means that they're going to the same venue and performing maybe once or twice the same day. And the amount of vocal ability, but also vocal sustainability or vocal endurance and technique that you need to do that is top level in order to perform once or twice a day. And you might be doing that 5 or 6 times a week. What happens sometimes, if you are a career vocalist, there'll be times when you're writing an album and you're not performing every night. So you get a little bit of downtime. Even on a tour, you can have a day off or a couple of days off when you are traveling to the next city or the next state, even if you are doing a tour across America. So there are differences in that way, but you'll find that the top singers and contemporary singers, Celine Dion, for example, have great vocal technique. And it's something that you'll find all the top singers have in common, that whether they do perform on Broadway or the West End, whether they perform opera, musical theatre, or whether they are in the mainstream, a contemporary singer and touring, the top singers just have great technique across the board, and they know how to manage their voice in order to get the best out of it night after night. But thank you so much for that question, Orlando. Again, another long answer, but Terry has donated $4.99. Thank you for this, Terry. The message is, thanks in advance for the filled tune. Laughing out loud is so good for you. Love being a part of this positive community with a laughing face and a heart, and a laughing face and a heart. So thank you for that, Terry. And Michael has just donated $10, so thank you for that again, Michael. And the message is, thanks for the price tag, very useful. Blues, jazz, bluegrass, the best is the one having the most fun at the moment. So thank you for that, Michael. That is what music's all about, just enjoying it, having fun, and also about playing an instrument. Just enjoy playing whichever instrument you do play, because that's then going to make it easier to learn because you enjoy doing it, and don't stress out about it or place unrealistic expectations on yourself. As long as you are enjoying it, you will improve. But anyway, thank you, Michael, for that. We are going to be jumping into a video, and the first video of the night is going to be the video for Art Not Commerce, one of my songs where I go for a massive walk. Just have a quick look on Patreon to see who requested this, and this was Kevin that threw this out as a suggestion, or threw this in there. He didn't throw it out. Marilyn also requested this, so thank you guys for that. Lynn as well is in there. Deborah with another request for Art Lock Comments. Mary as well, Teresa and Mary Lee, and there's loads of requests for this, so thank you guys. And Sue right down at the bottom of the list there as well. So thank you for requesting this. By the way, I'm going to be in the live chat room while this is playing, and if you can let me know which cartoon you want to see tonight, type it out. I'll be in the chat room. I'll make a little note of which one's the most popular one, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock!
Places I have been, the faces I have seen, oh, point me one way. All the decisions in my life, people telling me what's right, but I will make my own way. I wish that they could see half as clearly as I do, but they never see it all. Every step that I take, I wipe my footprints away. I make my choice, and I pave my way, and it makes me who I am. The more they say, my reflection still remains.
And there we had it. That was my song called Art Not Commerce. Hope you guys enjoyed that one, and you can get that at wingsofpegasus.com/store. And it's also available on iTunes and Amazon, but it's better for me if you go to my website, because then I don't have to give away a percentage to them. So there's also the album called Persistence over there. You can order a CD, which I send from here, and sign them if that's what you require as well. And thank you everyone who has ordered CDs, and there are a few of them out there, as we have seen over on the Wings of Pegasus supporters group on Facebook. Thank you guys for uploading your pictures of not only CDs but t-shirts and mugs, especially more recently as well, because of the new release of the mugs. So thank you guys for going over to Teespring and picking up a mug or two, and also uploading those pictures. You can join in over on that Facebook page if you want to. If you haven't done that yet, it's Wings of Pegasus supporters. Just type that in the search bar on Facebook and you will find the group, and you can join in there. That's where I get pictures to show on this live stream. I just hop over there and download them. Also, Vince links me to them as well, so thank you for that, for actually allowing me to get the pictures. Sometimes over on Facebook I can't really see them, or I click on it and it says it's unavailable. I think it's something to do with the privacy settings or something like that, but Vince allows me to kind of look at it by giving me the picture independently, so thank you for that, Vince. We are going to be jumping into the super chat window again because we've had a bit of action here. Let me scroll up a little bit, and let me see. Orlando donated again, $5. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is, piggybacking off my previous question, I always wondered why stage performers do not do well releasing records as well-known career vocalists. So yeah, it's an interesting thing to think about. Certainly back in the day where the internet wasn't as prevalent, if somebody was known on the West End or as a stage performer in general, they would still be doing their stage performances and they wouldn't be pushing an album or pushing a particular song or a single and going to be interviewed about that song. And then it really was to do with touring. So they would release a song, but it was very much almost like a novelty song, because they're not really a career musician going out and touring those songs from a particular album. They were still doing their stage shows. So you've got that side of things. Maybe on the promotion side it didn't sell as much because they just didn't have the time to dedicate to really push the album from that perspective, from really the record label's perspective. That's the company that are pushing the artists to just play as much as possible wherever they can, and really do work them like dogs to make sure that they make as much money for the record label as humanly possible. But yes, it's an interesting one. I think also sometimes the technique, vocal technique, especially if they do lean towards more musical theatre and opera, is a very dramatic way of singing with the vibrato that I mentioned earlier, and a lot of people don't connect. It's not mainstream, it's not contemporary, it's not in the charts, that kind of vocal sound. You'll always find more likely a vocal that doesn't have as much vibrato in there, and it's a lot more subtle in the charts than you'll find in musical theatre. So it might sound a little bit more dramatic or a little bit too dramatic for the mainstream audience. They just like something that is a little bit more subtle and something that they can digest a little bit more easily and isn't as enriched with technique. But it all depends what you're into, but that could be another reason for it as well. But thank you, Orlando, for that. Laurie has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Laurie. And the message is, hi everyone, have a great night. So thank you for that, and hello to you and everybody in that live chat room. Let's see who's in there still. We got Jennifer, John, and Mary, and Selena, and Vince is in there. Orlando, Carla still moderating, Valerie, and Game Jones as well. Susan and Dennis still in the house. Thank you guys for sticking with me and joining me on this Tuesday live stream. And also for hitting that thumbs up. If you haven't hit that thumbs up yet and you have that available, it would be massively appreciated if you could hit that thumbs up and use your token up to see if we can get to 310 tonight. That is the target. We are at 226, so we are moving along quite nicely. Thank you everyone for doing that. We'll see if we can get a spike at 1:45 already here in the UK, so we are moving along. We'll see where we end up, but we will jump into the cover video very soon just to get through the super chat window, because Mimi has donated $10 as well. Thank you for that. The message is, Phil goes for a long walk is my favorite, so thank you. And that's referring to the video we just watched, Art Not Commerce. Linda Z has donated $10. Thank you, Linda, for that. The message is, how did you first hear about Michael Palmisano, and who contacted whom first? Also, are you still on track with your new project? Patiently waiting for the debut with a winking face. Thank you for that, Linda. So, I'm still on track. I think this week, when I'm not doing the analysis videos, I'm going to be spending the time setting everything up, because it's going to be something that we will be doing over the internet or over an internet call. So there's probably going to be a little bit of a latency issue there, and I'm going to make sure that I can iron that out and get everything sounding correct for that thing that we're going to be doing on Friday, and you guys can stay tuned to see that. It's probably going to be released at some point. I don't know when to release it, whether that's going to be on Sunday instead of an analysis video, or maybe on Monday. It's going to be a difficult one for me to judge whether to take it in place of an analysis video. But I'll ask you guys over on Patreon. You can let me know over there, and I'll write that probably tonight or maybe tomorrow night, or just leading up to it, when you think it's best to release that first version of In at the Deep End with Michael. And the first part of the question was, how did I first know about Michael? And it was a video that I did, an analysis video ages ago on Mrs. Smith, which is his kind of alter ego, or at least ways that he would perform when he goes out on the road and going out doing a tour. That's his personality, or his, like I said, alter ego when he's on stage. But Michael then started and has a guitar course called Guitar Gate, and he then had a YouTube channel where he reacts to videos, but he gets his guitar out and he plays, and it's the kind of thing that I really enjoy watching, where it's not really a react video, it's more of an analysis video. So I enjoy watching those as well as doing that kind of thing myself. And I think Michael, when I first watched his channel, I don't know how many subscribers he had, but it was in the tens of thousands, maybe 40,000 subscribers, something like that. And he's now over 170,000, something around that ballpark. So it's great, because I've kind of kept in contact with him, and he did say when I first did a video on him and I checked out his channel, he said to stay in touch, which we have done. So this is why on Friday we've just kept that contact going, and we'll be doing that, working together on a video, which is going to be really cool to collaborate with him, but also just the nature of the type of video that we're going to be doing. It's going to be interesting, I think, not only to perform in, but also for people to watch. But thank you so much for that, Linda Z. I'm going to have to scroll up just to make sure I don't miss anybody. Thank you, Nora, as well, for this donation of $5. The message is, which of your guitars was in the case on your back, or was it empty with another winking face? So I should have, well, I'm thinking that I should have planned ahead and had nothing in the guitar bag, but it was my Ibanez Geo that was in there, which is relatively heavy, so it took a little bit of work, because there's a few hours walking just to get all of the shots to make sure that I could then make a video out of it. But yeah, my Ibanez Geo was in there, so the bag was full. So thank you for that. DM has also donated $2. Thank you for that. And the message is, Phil, don't let that text bully you. So thank you for that, and I'm not sure what that refers to. Maybe the Art Not Commerce video with the text in the background. I'm not sure, but thank you for that. Vince has donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Vince. And the message is, again, from live chat, Selena Coelho said, has Phil ever thought in singing in another language? So thank you for that, and thank you, Selena, as well for that question. And the answer to that is no. I've never thought about it, and I've never done it either. It could be something I do in the future, but I just think I wouldn't be very good at the pronunciation. I have to rehearse it quite a lot. But thank you guys for the question and that donation from Vince. DM has donated $2 again, and the message is, Phil, any chance of a collab with Rick Beato? So thank you for that question. And this is something that I know that Michael knows Rick, and it might be something that's possible in the future with this new segment that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be a case of asking Rick, and I'm sure that Michael can mention it to Rick. I do not know to answer that question, but if you say any chance of a collab, I think there's always a chance, because there's a bridge between myself, Michael, and then from Michael to Rick as well. And it would be really interesting to get Rick playing guitar on the channel as well, because he's such a great guitarist himself, and it'll be interesting to just do it in the at the deep end format, which you guys will start to get a handle of and understand what the format is once we do that first video, and that'll hopefully be out probably this weekend, or if not next week, so you guys can check it out. But thank you so much for that DM. And Black Cougar 1959 has donated $5. Thank you so much for that. The message is, Wings of Pegasus, keeping music alive, period. So I do my best, and just to spread the music out there a little bit more, I think is well worth doing to keep it as alive as possible. But thank you for that. Kay has donated $10, and that's a straight up donation. Thank you for that, Kay. Deborah has donated $5 and says, spike the likes. So thank you for that, Deborah, and a great idea. Where are we? 242 at the moment. So if you want to spike the likes, hit that thumbs up. It would be massively appreciated. And Ray has just jumped in there with a donation of $100. Thank you so much for that, Ray. And the message is, Phil, in your analysis videos, you often speak highly of musicians who have unique ways of playing guitar. As a guitar teacher, how did you teach a student what they needed to learn without stifling their creativity? And with teaching, I think that people pretty much know what they're into, and they know which guitarists they like. So as a teacher, I think you should just teach them what they want to learn. And generally everyone starts off just learning other people's songs and learning other people's techniques, and then once they've got those techniques, they can then start to write their own music, because they've got the ability to do it. They understand how to do it from learning from other people and just watching them and listening to them. And it's how every artist ever, every famous artist has been inspired by one person at least in their life, and that has then led them to be creative and take that inspiration and involve it in their own playing or their own singing or their own playing of any instrument, whichever it is, and then they put their own expression through the influences that they have taken on themselves. So it's just a case of, I think, teaching somebody what they want to learn and not being so set in your ways as a teacher to say, right, on lesson 1, I'm going to teach you this. On lesson 2, I'm then going to teach you that. And on lesson 3, you're then going to learn this song. It's all about, whenever somebody comes to me for a first lesson, I say to them, what do you enjoy playing, or what do you enjoy listening to, and how do you want to be able to play? And once you've got that, I think as a teacher, that just then sets out the roadmap. You then know exactly which direction to go in, which techniques to work on, and just give them the tools that they will require to then become their own independent artist or their own cover artist. Sometimes people do just want to learn cover songs and then perform it in their own way, and as long as they've got the right techniques to do that, then they can, and they will maybe focus on techniques that they enjoy playing that the artist that they're covering didn't play, so then you get a totally unique take on it. But anyway, Ray, thank you so much for that kind donation and the question. And Music Maiden has donated $5. Thank you so much for that. And the message is, what is that black and silver object on the floor behind you by your window? So I'm not sure what that is, what it refers to. We've got the YouTube 100,000 subscriber plaque thing, which is there. I don't know if you're referring to that, or maybe the black and silver object on the floor. Oh, maybe it's the that thing there, which is a bell notification doorbell sounder unit thing. So it's a wireless unit. So when someone's at the front door of the house, I can hear it in this room because otherwise I can't hear it. And so when there's an Amazon delivery, which I tend to order a lot of stuff on Amazon, so the doorbell is constantly going, I would then miss the whole delivery process, but also I might miss out on the delivery altogether because they just leave it by the door. And then if somebody comes along and sees an Amazon delivery, maybe they'll think it's their lucky day and pick it up and run off. Fortunately, fingers crossed, that hasn't happened to me yet, but it's just a doorbell notification system thing. And it's not very expensive. It actually works really well. And I think I've been through about 5 of them in order to get one that actually works consistently. But it does work, which is great. And it's battery operated. So when it stops working, I can then put in fresh batteries and it's fine. So anyway, that's what it is. Thank you for that question. If that's what you are referring to, hopefully it is. And Karen has donated $5. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, Phil, I'd like to share this quote from Henry Longfellow. Music is the universal language of mankind. Thanks for the much needed smiles. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that quote, Karen, and the donation as well. We are going to be jumping into the next video of the night. I think we are up to date with that. So with the super chat window, thank you everyone for the donations tonight. And we are at 5 to 1 here in the morning. So we're going to have to get a scoot on in order to watch this cover video, but also get some pictures up on screen of you guys in the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. So this is going to be the cover of Free Fallen, and this is because it would have been Tom Petty's 70th birthday today. So thank you guys over there on Patreon for requesting this. And I am just going to have a little look down the list because it was Kevin, I believe, who first requested this. So thank you, Kevin. And also we've had Marilyn who agreed, but I think a lot of you guys did agree with this, and Velvet as well. So thank you for requesting this one. I hope you guys enjoy it. I will be in the live chat room while this is playing, and I'll see you guys after this. Rock.
She's a good girl, loves her mama, loves Jesus and America too. She's a good girl, she's crazy about Elvis, loves horses and a boyfriend too. And it's a long day living in Reseda, and there's a freeway running through the yard. I'm a bad boy, 'cause I don't even miss her. I'm a bad boy for breaking her heart. And I'm free, free falling. Yeah, I'm free, free falling. All the vampires walking through the valley move west and down Ventura Boulevard. And all the bad boys standing in the shadows, and the good girls are home with broken hearts. And I'm free, free falling. Yeah, I'm free, free falling.
And there we have it. That was my cover of Free Falling. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and thank you guys for requesting that over on Patreon. And Tom Petty, it would have been his 70th birthday today. So again, another legend of the game who did so much for just music in general, but he was such a cool guy, such a normal guy as well. I think that's the main thing that really stuck out about Tom Petty, the fact that he was just somebody who didn't have any kind of change in personality due to fame, but what a legend that he was. And yeah, that was my tribute that I did for Tom Petty when he sadly passed away, or news of it broke that he had sadly passed away. But I hope you guys enjoyed my version of that, and thank you for requesting it over on Patreon. We are going to be jumping into the super chat window. We are past 1 a.m. here, so things are moving along very quickly. We're at 270 likes, so we've still got a little ways to go to get to 310. We're looking for 40 people to hit that thumbs up. So if you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, it'd be much appreciated if you could, because the live stream isn't going to be going on for much longer. We might have time just to fit in the cartoon that I did mention earlier, and maybe one more video, music video, we will see. But let me get into the super chat window, because we've had some action in there, and thank you guys for these donations. And I'm just checking that I don't miss anything here. And I think the question from Music Maiden saying, what is that black and silver object on the floor behind you by your window? I'm still not sure as to what you mean or what you're referring to, because I think I read a comment where you weren't sure. I don't know whether you're talking about the mic stand here, which is actually just here. It's not behind me. Behind me literally is the piano. Is that what you're referring to? That is silver and white, the white of the keys. Maybe that's it. But anyway, so that's what's behind me. And I think that's pretty much everything that is behind me. And there's a chair. So that is everything. Thank you, Karen, for your donation after that. Orlando has donated again, $2. Thank you for this, Orlando. And this has happened twice. So Orlando with a double donation of 2, actually a triple donation, because one's just come in again. So thank you for that, Orlando, 3 times. And Lisa has donated $5 as well. So thank you for that, Lisa. The message is, since you haven't been doing analysis videos 5 times a week for a few weeks now, are you more comfortable with that decision? So thank you for that, Lisa. And I think I always have to be doing something, but I'm certainly more comfortable now because of the amount of time I have to spend on, for example, setting up this thing that I'm going to be doing with Michael on Friday. And just having that time available means that I can get through emails and Facebook messages and also Patreon messages and all of the comments on YouTube. It means that I can keep on top of everything rather than falling behind and then getting a little bit stressed out and maybe not sleeping as much and going to bed later and later and later. So the good thing about not doing as many analysis videos is that if there is one that is blocked, it's not that big a deal, because I know that I'm not doing another analysis video straight afterwards. And what I mean by that is, when I upload a video, normally about 2 or half 2 in the morning, having spent maybe 6 to 8 hours doing it, if everything goes well, it means that if I then find out it's been blocked on YouTube, I have to go back to the rendering phase. And it takes another maybe 45 minutes to an hour to render the video again, because I have to edit it or re-edit it, and then I re-compress it and re-upload it. So you're probably looking at another couple of hours, which will take it to half 2, half 3, half 4 in the morning, and then I upload that. And then after I've done that at half 4 in the morning, I still have the messages that I have to do before going to bed. So that maybe take an hour or longer after that. So it's basically starting to get to the point where people are getting up and I'm then going to bed. Whereas now, because I know that I'm not doing a video the next day, if I was going to bed at, say, half 5, then it means that when I get up, then I have to go straight into doing the next analysis video, because I know that if I have trouble, it's going to take 12 hours, maybe more to do. So my life just turned into an analysis video that was never ending when the copyright blocks came in, especially if I had 2 or 3 in a row. It meant that it was just a constant day of analysis video and comments and emails and then bed. But whereas now, at least I get a night where I can get on top of all of the messages and everything. So I think I've come to terms with it a lot more recently because I know that it allows me to do so much more and keep on top of all of the messages and especially all of the emails. So thank you, Lisa, for that. So the answer to that question is yes, I am more comfortable with it, and it makes everything more comfortable for me to keep everything organized. Orlando did donate again that $2, which I referred to earlier. So thank you for that, Orlando. So we are going to be jumping into the pictures, and then we'll show a cartoon. The only one that I saw, at least going through the live chat room, was the request for, I think it was the library one or the gig that was a bit of a nightmare. So we'll be jumping into that cartoon soon, but let me have a little look and get up on screen the background. If I can find where it is, I have to go to a different place in order to find the pictures and everything. But guys, thank you so much for uploading these pictures to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. We're going to get the background in play because we should have Sherry up on screen, and this is Sherry with her mug, and that is the new version of the mug with that monochrome logo on there. But also, let's see how they get on the front. And on the back it says, and there we have it. So thank you so much for that, Sherry. And we should have Ginger Duran as well on screen with the same mug. And we've also got the mask and the t-shirt as well. So thank you so much for this, Ginger Duran, for being fully kitted out in Wings of Pegasus merchandise. And last but not least, we have Patrick. And here we have Patrick not only in the Wings of Pegasus t-shirt, but he has his pick from the pick roulette. So congratulations to Patrick. Thank you for taking that picture and for entering the pick roulette. And that is what you can get your hands on if you are lucky enough to not only be part of the live stream when we hit the likes for that roulette, the amount of likes that are required, but also for saying I agree, doing the thumbs up, and you can get your hands, if you're very lucky, on the Wings of Pegasus pick, which is also signed on the back as well. But thank you so much, Patrick, for uploading that, and also to Carla for linking me to that video as well. And here is my version of the pick, and there it is. This is the one that you win, and it's got a little signature on the back. Hopefully you guys can see that. But congratulations everyone who has won so far in the pick roulette, and hopefully we'll be having another one on Tuesday at some point in the future. We're going to have to wait to see if we can make the likes level for tonight. We're up to 287, so we're working our way up there. We're going for 310 as the basic target for tonight. So that's only 23 people. We might get there. We need a few more people to join in the live chat room. But if they do pop along, maybe you guys can encourage them to hit that thumbs up, and we might make it to the goal for tonight on the likes. But then maybe if we can find 10 more people somewhere, we'll make it to the pick roulette likes target as well. I think I'm saying this all correctly. I'm confusing myself a little bit. I do have to go to a different place in order to get the cartoons, and I'm not really sure exactly where they are or which one is which, because I've just named them 1, 2 and 3. So we will see which one this is. I think this is going to be correct. So fingers crossed we are going to get back into showing a video. But I think Karen has just donated $5. So thank you for that, Karen. The message is, Phil, the orange got squashed. Have a chocolate mint tea on me, albeit virtually, with a picture of a mug. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that donation, Karen. And Orlando has donated $2 saying, can you read this? So yes, I can. The other donations from Orlando didn't have anything underneath, so I can't see anything there, but I can see that. So thank you for that, Orlando. And we're going to be jumping into this cartoon. Again, thank you for requesting this in the chat room. This just happened to be the one that I saw when I asked whether you guys wanted to pick a particular cartoon. So the donation window has just changed again. I am going to press play soon. Carla has donated $1.99. Thank you for that, Carla. The message is Paul Mackenzie, not Patrick, with a winking face. And I didn't say Paul's surname, but Paul Mackenzie for the full name. But that was Paul who showed his pic, just in case you want the full name out there. But thank you for that, Carla, for the classification. And Orlando has donated $5 again. And the message is, forgive the dumb question. My previous 4 donations came up blank. Frustrating. So thank you for that, Orlando. And maybe there is a bit of a problem with the typing in that Orlando is going through at the moment. So apologies for that. It's a YouTube thing. I don't really know how it all works. But thank you for the donations. And we are going to be jumping into this now. Let me make sure I click the right button. And I'll see you guys after this. You can spike the likes if you want to. Anybody tuning into the live stream watching this cartoon will not know what is going on, but at least you guys in the live chat room do know what's going on. These are kind of exclusive live stream cartoons, all part of my music career in the past, true stories that have happened. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys after. Rock.
Guys, I'm so excited. I have just managed to get us an awesome gig.
Well, I do hope our definition of awesome coincide.
Well, I know a guy who works at a pub and he said we can play there this Friday night.
You know a guy. So far, to be honest, I'm on the fence about this gig. Persuade me. Where is the venue? Will I have heard of it?
The pub is called the Golden Guff. It is in Surrey. My friend has told me it will be amazing. We need this gig.
Well, it certainly sounds like a reputable joint. It's about an hour's drive, but I'm going to trust you on this. Let's book the gig.
We won't regret it. The place will be packed. I can't wait.
Wowzers, this pub really looks like a library. Hello there. Do you work here?
Yes, I do.
Yes, we do need help. Thanks for asking. We are the band who are playing here this evening. What is the plan?
Are you sure there's live music tonight?
Well, I really hope so. If not, my bandmate has yet again stitched me up, as well as himself. So, who is in charge?
I am the only person working here tonight.
Well, at least we know, therefore it will not be busy tonight. Great. Where is the stage, and we'll start to set up?
Well, whenever someone has played an acoustic guitar, they have been sitting here, so you can play in this area.
Oh my Guff, heck of frick. You may actually notice there are tables and sofas in the way, not to mention just being a woeful position for music.
I'm afraid you'll have to move the table and sofas out of the way then.
Well, as I'm a musician and I want to play, I will do this manual labor in addition to the hour's drive. I also assume we are not getting paid for this gig.
That is correct.
At least you're holding up your end of the bargain. Well, let's get to work, guys. These sofas look like the heaviest sofas we will ever lift in our lives.
I'll leave you to it, and I'll make sure that if you need anything, I will be impossible to find.
Many thanks for following standard protocol. Great job, guys. It only took an hour and I think I've got a hernia. But I'm sure it will all be totally worth it and not a gig we should have declined. Just the person I was looking for. So, where is the PA? Is it quite heavy to lift? And also, how many channels does your mixer have?
We don't have a PA here.
Ha 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 ha. That was a fantastically great joke. Wasn't it? Or should I say, it better have been.
No, what you see is what we have.
That, I'm afraid, is sweet Guff all. Well, what do you usually do on live music nights then?
Jacob usually does all the band stuff. He's not here today, but I have his number if you want to talk to him.
That might be an idea. At least every last detail of this gig has been meticulously planned by the venue, otherwise we could all look like absolute total amateurs. Hello Jacob, I'm Phil from the band that are playing at your pub tonight. Where is the PA? And the mixer? For the gig? Okay, so it's in your car. And you are in your car at the moment. And you're 5 hours drive away. Do you think this may be an issue? Considering we're playing in 45 minutes, you didn't realize what the time was? Oh well, that is a very acceptable excuse. I mean, how could anyone ever have foreseen these unlikely turn of events? Unbelievable. So here is the situation. The PA is 5 hours away, we have 45 minutes until we start. So this venue has quite truly rogered our collective bums in the guff.
Oh dear. I can't help feeling partially responsible for us being in this position.
Yes, I wonder why that is.
Just so you know, your friends and family are also just starting to arrive. They must have made the hour-long drive to support you.
Oh. Great. Well, as ridiculous as this sounds, I have purchased my own PA, so that if a music venue is retarded enough to not have any equipment, I have everything. It just so happens it's in my sister's boyfriend's van, who should be here shortly. So, it seems that you as a collective venue won't have egg on your face. You jammy dodgers.
I don't understand.
Oh, just that to the innocent onlooker, you'll look like you have a great PA system and are a great live music venue, when in fact you are actually a total load of rubbish guff venue. With no idea, and couldn't organize a piss-up in a brewery. Present location accepted. No offense.
None taken.
You are seriously mentally vacant. I'm going to slag off this pub to my family now. Bye.
And there we have it. That was one of my real life stories, and I hope you guys enjoyed that on some kind of level. There are 5 of those in all, but I think I've only got up to 3 on the live stream showing those, so there are 2 more stories that I've done, but that was quite a while ago, and I have so many other stories and cartoons that I could do in the future. Obviously I haven't got time to make cartoons and do all that kind of stuff, but there are so many crazy things that happen to musicians all the time, and I know that other musicians out there will know exactly what I'm talking about. Just crazy things like that, turning up at a venue and then being asked if there's live music at their venue, and they've hired you as the live band. And when I say hired, I say that very loosely because they're not paying you. You're just turning up to entertain people so that they buy more drink and they make more money, and then you don't get paid at all. But it did have books everywhere. This is the crazy thing. The videos that I make in the cartoons are exactly how things happened, and it looks exactly how it looks. It was like a library, and there were sofas there, and we had to move all the sofas out of the way to set up the equipment. They didn't have a mixer. Anyway, all true stuff. But thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and we have had a few extra likes, I think 297. So we are 3 away from 300. We're looking for just 3 people in the live chat room who haven't used their thumbs up yet to see if we can make it up to 300. And then we're just looking for 10 more people to hit the target. So that's going to be 12 in all that we're looking for. We might be able to make it, I'm not sure. Hopefully we might get to that goal. I know that on Tuesday it's going to be a lot more difficult because not as many people are watching because they are working, and that's unfortunately something that everybody has to do. But thank you guys for joining me tonight. We are up to 303. That was a mini spike of the likes there. Thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up, those 5 people that did do that just then. Because we're up to 303, we need 7 more people to hit our goal for tonight. We will jump into the super chat window because we've had a bit of action in there, and let me just get into this window to make sure that I don't miss anything. So we've had one from Michael, who has donated $5. Thank you for this, Michael. The message is, what is the gauge of the pick, light, medium, heavy? So the Wings of Pegasus pick is, from memory and from touch, I think it's around 1 millimeter in thickness. It might be slightly less than that, maybe a 0.95. I'll have to check this, but it's 1 millimeter at least. That's what I chose, or at least I know that Carla and I were talking about the gauge of pick, and I said that I always tend to use a 1 millimeter pick because it suits my purposes for playing slightly faster passages with alternate picking, and you don't want a great deal of flexibility in your pick when you're playing faster passages in hard rock and heavier genres of music. But also playing acoustic guitar, if you're doing any kind of alternate picking, you want to have not any flexibility or too much flexibility in the pick. So that's the reason that I went for 1 millimeter, which I think this feels like 1 millimeter. So that would be classed as heavy. I know that lots of people class their picks as different. They think that, oh, this is medium or feels light, whereas I think generally if you've got anything over probably 0.8 or 0.80 of a millimeter, then it'll be seen as heavy. So this is 1 millimeter, so it would be classed as that. I think that also with my own playing style, with 1 millimeter, I can play softly if I want to, and then start to get a little bit more aggressive with the playing. And I have that option to go down both of those dynamic routes. Whereas if I have a really light pick, for example, it means that I can play lightly, but then if I want to get aggressive with the playing and push the dynamics to the other extreme, I can't do that because there's too much give in the pick. So that's the reason that I play with 1 millimeter, sometimes 1.1, because I don't want a lot of give in that. But anyway, thank you, Michael, for that donation. And the question, Paul has donated $5 and says, you can call me, you can call me Patrick, and you can call me Paul, just don't call me late for dinner. So thank you for that, Paul. And it just took me a while to read that because there's lots of words there that I was reading lots of times. Kay has donated $5 again. Thank you for that, Kay. The message is, what software program do you use to create your cartoons? And this was something called Go... I can't remember what it is. It was Go Cartoon. It wasn't Go Cartoon. It wasn't Go Compare either. That's a company that we have here in the UK that are very popular. But Go Animate, that is what it was. So that's something, I don't even know if the site still exists, but you could just do your own cartoons. And this is why some people say, oh, why are the cartoons looking like that? And why are they designed in that way? It's because you can choose lots of different styles of cartoons. You can choose lots of different voices. You type in what you want them to say and they say it back, and it's something that was made just for cartoons. I think really they were used for business meetings and things like that, to show graphs and have that kind of stuff, whereas I just went to these funny characters and just kitted them out to make them look, well, one of them to make it look like me with long hair and a headband, just so I stood out a little bit. So also the other characters do look a little bit like the other bandmates, but for most of the time I just wanted to let people know that I was the guy with the long hair and the leather jacket and the headband, so that I could stand out, so you knew that this was my experience that I was going through. But anyway, thank you for that, Kay. We've also had a donation from Joan of $49.99. Thank you so much for that, Joan. The message is, I love all your cartoons. Thank you for a much needed laugh, with a laughing face. So no problem. Thank you, Joan, so much for that donation. We are going to be calling this live stream to a close pretty soon. We are at 307 likes, so we are so close to the target tonight of 310. We're looking into that live chat room for 3 people. So if any of you guys are in there, we've got Jill and Diane, Sandy, Deborah, Carla's still in there moderating, Paul is in there as well, Linda Z, Roddy, Frank, Sue, Felicity as well. If any of you guys haven't used your thumbs up, now is the time to use it, because we are drawing to the end of the live stream, drawing it to a close, and we're trying to get up to 310, and we would need a big rush to get to 320 for the pick roulette next week, because that is set at 320 if my memory serves me correctly. There it is, 320. So we would be looking for 13 more people for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to watch one more video, and it's going to be one of my songs called Haunted. And this was requested over on Patreon. I think there is a bit of a Halloween theme to this, as requested by, I think it was I think it's maybe, I don't want to make sure, I want to make sure that I don't get this incorrect, because last time I said somebody requested something when they didn't request it, and Sue requested this, Haunted, but I think it was due to it being Halloween. It's Lisa that requested this because it's almost Halloween. So thank you for that, Lisa. I knew that somebody mentioned Halloween, but there's lots of comments in there, so kind of going through them live is a little bit difficult to read everything that's in there. But thank you, Lisa, for requesting this because of the Halloween theme, and you'll get the Halloween theme once we start playing the video, because it was at Halloween when we played this song. So thank you guys so much for hitting that thumbs up and joining me as well. 309, 310. That is it. We have made it to the likes target of tonight's live stream. Thank you guys. So we're going to play one more video. We're looking for 9 people to maybe join in, hit that thumbs up to get to the pick roulette likes target for next week, to have a pick roulette next Tuesday. And thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up. We're going to jump into this, and I'll see you guys after this video. Rock.
1, 2, 3, 4. Another dark December day.
And there we have it. That was my song called Haunted. Again, you can find that over at wingsofpegasus.com/store. So I did notice during the playback of that video that Vince mentioned in the live chat room about there being another photo. So while that video was playing, I've loaded up the Wings of Pegasus supporters group on Facebook and went to the Facebook messages. So Vince, thanks for that and the heads up. We're going to be taking a look at, let me just make sure that this is going to work. I'm not sure whether it is or not because I'm attempting to put what I've got on screen live. So we will see if this works. And it is Diana's mug, and it's the new mug, and she's got a t-shirt on as well. So I'm going to attempt to get this up on screen if we can find maybe, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm just going to click it and see what happens. So hopefully Diana will appear. I don't know whether it's going to work. Here we go. Well, I mean, it's pretty close. So there's Diana with her mug. It's in the middle of the screen. It's in front of me. It now looks like actually Diana's having her own live stream with a super chat and live chat and a likes goal. So thank you so much for uploading this, Diana, and also Vince for letting me know that the picture was up there. And we're going to go back to me now on the live stream. And thank you everyone for uploading your pictures to that website, the Facebook page, Wings of Pegasus supporters group, because I can grab them. I don't usually do it like that. That is something that I had to just work out a way of showing the picture up on screen, but thank you so much for that, Diana, for uploading it, showing the picture also of the t-shirt and having, there's actually a cube, a rolling cube in the background as well, and a guitar. So there's some rocking and rolling going on in the background, and thank you everyone for buying the merchandise, uploading the pictures, and just for joining me on these live streams. So I am going to see if I can now get the live likes back on screen. I'm not sure. 322, we have made it. So while we had that little detour, we have passed the likes roulette limit for next week. So this is something that if you do want to be involved with this, I know that a lot of you guys have been typing it throughout the live stream, just in case we do get to 320, which we have done. So thank you guys for doing that. Just type I agree and put a thumbs up there to be part of the Pick Roulette next Tuesday. So we are going to have one on Saturday and then on Tuesday, and then we're going to have another one on Saturday and a bonus one because of the things that I mentioned at the beginning of the live stream. So thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up. We ended the live stream on a high, and I always look forward to a Pick Roulette because it's great to get you guys up on screen and see all of your names and then see where the next Wings of Pegasus pick is going to be sent. So thank you everybody for joining me tonight. I am going to be calling this to a close. If you're watching this on Catch Up and you are part of the Catch Up crew, you can still hit that thumbs up. We're at 325 now. Thank you everyone for doing that and still hitting that thumbs up. But every thumbs up in the future does help this channel to grow and helps these live streams to get out there as well. And it's great to see some new names getting involved in the live chat room. And it's such a great community here. If you are new, you can always just introduce yourself into the live chat room and just say hi. And it's something that in order to hit these targets, I'm always increasing the amount of likes every live stream. So we are getting new people along each time. And thank you everyone for just joining in and joining me on these live streams. So we are going to be calling it a night tonight. Again, thank you everyone for hitting that thumbs up and ensuring the fact that we're going to have a Pick Roulette next Tuesday. I'm going to be back here live on Saturday night for another live stream and another Pick Roulette. So we're going to be having a lucky winner on Saturday as well. So make sure you tune in to see that. And this is the thing that if you tune in and your name comes up, then you'll be sent a Wings of Pegasus pick. And that's how it works. So hopefully I'll see you guys then. I'll be doing another analysis video on Thursday night, so look out for that one. And For the other evenings, I'll probably give you guys a little update over on Patreon as to how things are going, setting everything up for Friday as well, and I'll probably update you guys on Friday because that's when I would have been doing all the recording with Michael and we would have had it finished, done and dusted probably by the evening then. So I'll let you guys know how it goes over on Patreon. And if you guys want to get involved yourselves, get your name at the bottom of this screen throughout the whole live stream, you can head over to patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus, and that's where I do post updates as well as to how things are going, what I'm up to, and I will do that on Friday as well to let you know how everything goes. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'll see you on Saturday live again. If I don't see you there, I'll see you in the analysis videos, comment section, and I'm always around in that comment section. So thank you everyone for just watching the videos and for hitting the thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. And that's something that you can do if you want to as well. Hit that subscribe button as well as that thumbs up. It would be massively appreciated. Hit that notification bell and all of that cool stuff. I'll see you guys live again on Saturday and in the comments section on Thursday and over on Patreon as always. Pretty much every night I do check all of the messages over on Patreon every single night. If you want to send me a direct message, I will get back to you well within 24 hours. But thank you guys so much for joining me tonight and I will see you at the next one. Rock!